Amir Khan because people have nonstop been talking shit about him since Danny Garcia knocked him out, and he still feels like he deserves not just a Pacquiao fight, but a Mayweather fight too before he retires. This guy is unmovable in his self-perception of where he belongs in the sport. I respect that. He's like calling out Manny Pacquiao now. Again, he's been calling out Manny Pacquiao and Floyd like his entire career. I don't think he's ever even been like genuinely close to either of those fights. And we've all seen the memes. We've seen the stinky leg. We've seen like the him in bed sleeping. Like, it's awful. It's awful what we do as a community to each other in our lowest moments. You're 100% correct. But some guys are immovable. Amir Khan is one of them. And I guess the question is, does Amir Khan deserve the Pacquiao fight? Is that still a fight that people want to see? There was a time when people were like, yo, that's a fucking great matchup.
At one point, I loved the narrative, and I think that must have been 3 or 4 years ago. I loved the narrative of former stable, having shared having shared the same stable at one point being under Freddie Roach. I liked it. There were two of the fastest fighters, speed versus speed, friend versus friend. You know what I mean? It made sense. But if you're asking the question, does he deserve it? Deserving and wanting are two completely different things, okay? No. Plain and simple. No. Because he's not been active. I think the last fight he had was...
was it the Italian in Liverpool?
No, it was one in Saudi Arabia, and he fought Billy Dick.
Right. Because I couldn't cover. Nobody went to that. I remember. I remember that. Yes.
When we're looking at it from that perspective, no. But at one point, would that have made a great fight, and would that have been something people? I still think if Manny decided to throw Khan a bone and take the fight, then I do think that it would still be, we'd still watch it. It would still, hopefully, still be a good fight. But is he deserving to be even in the top 5 of opponents that Manny should be facing next? No, I just don't think it would be fair.
His last fight was in Saudi Arabia. Our fight in Saudi Arabia with Joshua Ruiz 2 showed that the city can absolutely handle a big fight and is not only inviting of, but willing to facilitate whatever is necessary to put on a show of just that magnitude. With Khan's background and the amount of Filipino people that also are willing to travel and already in Saudi, to far more people than I would have expected. I think in Saudi, especially, that's a huge fight. It's still a huge fight. And you're right, like on the numbers, it's almost impossible to make a case for Khan as like the #1 contender considering Pacquiao is a belt holder again. But because of I think because of Khan's like immovable confidence in this, like his style and a fan base, a culture that will continue to support him if they think he's even got like the thinnest of shots, he's still able to be a marquee fighter as long as he does a marquee matchup, right?
Right, but the last marquee matchup he had was against Terrence Crawford.
Well, that's rude to bring that up, Michelle.
You justify, based on that performance, could you justify a Pacquiao fight?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what coming out of quarantine, I don't think, and this will be unfair, but I don't think #1 contenders and mandatories and resumes are going to be the first thing considered as to whether or not a fight is made. It's going to be money. Who can drive the biggest audience? And in that way, does Amir Khan still have box office power in a good matchup? Like, I think that's his whole card right now. Like, yo, take this to Saudi, bring Pacquiao. We're both old. You know what I mean? Pacquiao's looking a hell of a lot better than Khan is in his age, but Khan, I think, could still drive numbers there. And I think the fight for Pacquiao, though, is Garcia. Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia.
And I think that's what's ultimately going to end up happening. I do believe, or even Terrence Crawford. Terrence has been campaigning for that as well. So, again, if the question you are asking is, does he deserve it? The answer is no. Does it make sense in a country like Saudi or Dubai to make a fight like that? Yes. But ultimately, we're not talking about, the question wasn't about who brings the best business. The question was, does he deserve the fight? And he doesn't, based on the others that, are in line for that mega fight.
All right, so we're going to put you down as undecided.